Good day to you all and welcome to Map Reading Made Easy. In today's topic, we are going to look at how to interpret maps. Interpreting maps. This is the whole essence of map reading. And we need to be conversant with how to interpret maps. Now, when you look at this map, you should be able to know the relationships existing between the features. What is the relationship between the relief and communication? What is the relationship between settlement and human activities? You see, and all that. Now, the first thing that should guide you when it comes to interpreting maps is what is usually at the bottom of the maps. Every map has it. So let's look at the bottom of this map. Can you see? What you see there is called a legend or key. From the key, we will know more about the map. For example, this one you are looking, can you see the key? Can you see the first one, 100? Can you see that 100? It means contour in meters. That is the contour interval. So it means the contour interval of this map is 100 meters. Can you see the sign for the rivers? Can you see the sign for the area liable to flooding? Can you see the swamp, forest, farmstead, quarry, railway, road, footpaths, and settlements? These are guides. They help us to interpret maps. Now, settlements are usually represented on maps with dots, especially rural settlements like farmstead, hamlets, and villages. Can you see the dots? That is how they show settlements on maps. Let's move on. Now, for urban settlements like towns, cities, metropolis, conurbations, and megalopolis, these are usually represented with shaded portion called built-up areas. Can you see? Can you see shaded portion? This is a built-up areas. It cannot be a hamlet. It cannot be a village. It's either a town, city, metropolis, conurbation, or megalopolis. It's for big towns. Now, let's classify settlements according to patterns. Settlements are usually classified according to patterns. Now, this has to do with the arrangement of the buildings in a defined area. How the buildings are arranged will form the patterns. Now, 4 main patterns are explained below. The first one is what we call the nucleated settlement. Nucleated settlement. Here, the individual buildings are close to one another, as you can see in the diagram. The individual buildings are close to one another. Can you see? The dots are clustered together. This is an example of a nucleated settlement. Number 2, we have linear settlement. Linear settlement. Here, the individual buildings are arranged in a line form, usually along roads, rivers, railway lines, etc. Can you see the settlements? Can you see the buildings arranged along the line? This is an example of a linear settlement. Number 3, we have dispersed settlement. Dispersed or scattered settlement. Here, the individual buildings are scattered and far apart from one another, as you can see in the diagram. Can you see the buildings? Scattered. Number 4, that's what we call a nodal settlement. A nodal settlement. These are settlements that grow on a nodal point. When we say nodal point, that is where two routes meet. It could be roads, railway lines, or rivers. Where they meet is a nodal point. Settlements situated in such places are called nodal settlements. Now, let's look at relationship between communication and settlement. In finding out the relationship between communication and settlement on a map, first of all, find out the types of communications on the map. When we say communications in map reading, we are not talking about telephones or GSM. No. We are talking about roads network. The roads, the railways, the rivers, and the footpaths. So that is communication. So when you hear communications, we are looking at the roads, the railway lines, the rivers, the footpaths that connects events and features. So that's the first thing. Can you see? Then, secondly, you ask yourself this question: do settlements occur along a type of communication? Do settlements occur along a type of communication? Do settlements occur at junctions of communications, e.g. road junctions, railway junctions, etc.? Does the presence of water influence the location of settlements? What you see on the map will tell you how to answer these questions. Does the presence of any human activity influence the location of settlements? So those are the questions you look at when reading maps or interpreting maps. You look at it again, find out the types of communications on the map. What are the roads? Roads presence, railway lines presence, rivers and footpaths. Do settlements occur along a type of communication? What you see will tell you. Do settlements occur at junctions of communication, e.g. road junctions, railway junctions, etc.? Does the presence of water influence the location of settlements? Does the presence of any human activity influence the location of settlements? What else can you see? Can you see areas liable to flooding? These and many more questions you will be able to answer from maps. Now, in our next topic, we are going to take an example of a WAEC question and see how they expect you to answer them. So, look forward to my next lesson, which will be interpreting maps part 2. Until I come your way, stay tuned and stay